replaces Daryl with a random student. The lockers in the school are green, not blue. They didn't bother to make this game any longer, even though it's by far the shortest game of the series. The remake boasts that it has new puzzles. 3 puzzles is not enough to be worth boasting about. 2 of the new puzzles are break into the teacher's lounge and stop the culprit. Those were both in the original game, so technically they're not new puzzles. The only truly new puzzle is this one, and it's just awful. If you're only adding 1 new puzzle, why not make sure it's a good one? The game is rated E10 for violence and drug references. The original game also had violence and drug references, but it was rated E for everyone. The case file is unnecessary when the game has an intro scene that explains the case. The original Secrets Can Kill is suspiciously missing from Nancy's scrapbook.
So it's undercover I go.
Nancy is supposed to be undercover, but she still goes by her real name.
Who would have dreamed taking a vacation to visit Aunt Eloise in Florida would result in another case?
Nancy goes on vacation and accidentally uncovers a mystery cliché.
I'm calling this case Secrets Can Kill.
Nancy names the case before she starts investigating. Aunt Eloise's fancy security system protects a safe with nothing valuable inside it. The cage is dangling from the ceiling the whole time and nobody notices it. Aunt Eloise tells Nancy to never enter the wrong combination for the safe, but she doesn't tell Nancy the right combination. This must be the only sorority in the world which uses lowercase Greek letters. Where is Aunt Eloise in this game? She's not at home or at work. We can't look at any of the other things in this safe. Aunt Eloise writes her last name in all caps, but not her first name. Aunt Eloise keeps her librarian letterhead in a nightstand at her house, instead of in the library. Who is Jackie, and what do Spanish schools have to do with anything? The haunted ghost bridge? Why can't we solve that mystery? Nancy has caller ID when Mitch Dillon calls, but not when Detective Beech calls. Detective Beech is the only new character in the game, which makes it super obvious who the new culprit will be.
If you need anything else, come see me at Maxine's. I'm wearing glasses and a green striped shirt.
Also, I'm literally the only customer there. Ned is useless in this game. He gives some hints on junior mode, and that's it. Daryl does not look like a teenager. The characters go from being 2D to 3D. The remake adds another dimension to the character models, but not to the characters themselves. In the original game, Daryl was a cool, popular student. In this game, he's a creepy weirdo who makes awkward conversation. Daryl hits on Nancy multiple times, even though she tells him to stop. Connie asked Daryl to the dance, but she later canceled so she could go with Jake. Now that Jake is dead, Connie is dateless again. Daryl is such a sleazeball, I can't believe he isn't taking advantage of the situation to hit on Connie non-stop. The menu behind Daryl doesn't match with the one in the store. The menu behind Daryl prices everything as under $2.
Then you'll be attending Paseo Del Mar High.
Daryl mispronounces Paseo.
Good teachers, nice students, lots of after-school activities.
There are only 3 people here after school ends.
Get it? Contacts. I'm wearing contacts that let me see pretty women.
How are we supposed to know Daryl is wearing contacts?
I should get back to work.
Everyone in this game says they should leave, then they proceed to stay in place. The Colossal Burger and the 6-patty burger are the 2 second cheapest burgers on the menu. Daryl has a burger named after him? Why? Most restaurants don't let customers wander into the kitchen for no reason. This puzzle. Game thinks this is an acceptable way to fix a leaky gas line. Gas line explosions are impossible without an ignition source, so what caused the explosion? Did Daryl light a match when no one was looking? Nancy never tells anyone about the busted gas line in the kitchen.
How's your...
Aunt Eloise. Oh, she's fine. And Dad says hello.
You're staying with your aunt, right?
Yes.
Detective Beech hired Nancy through Aunt Eloise. He should know who she is. Why are Nancy and Beech putting on an act? It's not like there's anyone else in the diner who can overhear them. Beech does a terrible job of pretending to be a detective. How did Nancy not see through his act before the end of the game? Beech only talks about Jake's journal, not his killer. Nancy doesn't question this. Maxine regularly scheduled Daryl and Jake to work from 4 to 10. She let two teenagers run a diner by themselves. Aunt Eloise's letter mentions Saturday the 23rd, but Saturday is the 21st this month. Daryl is scheduled to work a 6-hour shift by himself multiple times. You can't work that long without taking a break. Who watches the diner when Daryl's on break? This calendar matches August 2010, which is when the game came out. School must have just started. However, everything else in this game indicates the school year is well underway, with the football games, senior essays, and dance drama. There was no holiday on August 9th, 2010. School starts in August, but the Students of the Month board starts with September. Where's the August Student of the Month? Mel is included in this email about closing, even though he is never scheduled to close. They keep receipts in the potato bin. Where do the potatoes go? How do they decide who works the cashier and who's the cook? The schedule doesn't say who does what job. The diner opens at 8, even though there are no breakfast items on the menu. The majority of the game is spent ignoring the mystery in favor of solving random brain teasers. I can't read half of the text in this book. Connie calls herself Nineko in the judo competition. Not only is it an obvious anagram, but it's also a stupid one. Peru is not in Central America. The spacing in this article is just plain messed up. The high school is having homecoming and 50s dance around the same time as Sadie Hawkins' dance. How many dances do these teenagers need? Why is there a Hilda Swenson Foundation here? Everyone thinks she is crazy, and she lives on the other side of the country. Jake wrote a message about his murderer. If he knew he was going to be killed, why did he do nothing to stop it?
I have made some mistakes, but I try to be a decent person.
What kind of mistakes?
I feel uncomfortable speaking about this now.
You were the one who brought up the subject. Nancy solves this brain teaser herself and writes the solution in her notebook. She doesn't do that for any of the other brain teasers. According to Nancy's notebook, Hal said Jake wanted a phone to open his locker. Hal said no such thing. The library contains over a dozen books that you can look at, but only one of them needs to be read. Good luck finding the right one. In real life, even-numbered pages go on the left, and odd-numbered pages go on the right. Nancy is not surprised that all the books in the library are about her past cases. What was that? Who turned off the alarm? The library is empty. Nancy is not fazed by all the Nancy Drew fan art in this school. The poster next to Hulk changes when you talk to him. Hulk is a jerk. In football, numbers 80 through 89 are reserved for wide receivers, but Hal says Hulk holds the conference record in sacks, which means he's not a wide receiver.
What kind of guy was Jake?
Jake Rogers was a total creep. Nobody liked him.
The characters openly insult someone who just died. Are they trying to look suspicious? The middle banner says championship, while the left banner says championships. Hulk is allegedly the best football player in the state, maybe even the country, but they have no football championship banners. The hall monitor is monitoring an empty room. Mr. September is not a character in this game. Mr. September is so incredibly attractive, it's distracting. Connie wants to date Daryl Gray when Mr. September is right there. Both Connie and Hulk get mad if you talk to them multiple times, even though it's their fault for ending conversations abruptly.
Have you seen any of those weird messages on the bulletin boards?
Yes, and if I catch the guy who's doing it, he's going to be in big trouble.
Connie is annoyed by the bulletin board messages, but she doesn't remove them. All of Hal's lines are exactly the same as in the original.
Connie doesn't know my study habits. I can handle my studies. I'm behind in my studies and
Hal says he can handle his studies, then immediately complains that he's behind in his studies. Which one is it, Hal? Who writes the letter S like that? You have to physically click the OK button on this computer. Pressing the Enter button doesn't work. This computer interface. I don't think Paseo Del Mar has gotten new computers in the past 12 years. Cafeteria, school store, principal's office, all places we never get to see. The word apple is spelled wrong. Security identified Connie's lost backpack, but they put it in the lost and found instead of making an attempt to give it to her. Hulk got into a fight with an unknown person the night of the murder. Nancy doesn't follow up on this. The security guard identifies students as ages 15 to 18. That's not helpful for identifying high schoolers. The security guard heard Jake's murder, but instead of investigating right away, they called 911 first, giving Mitch enough time to escape. This is a terrible security guard.
Didn't I hear that you found Jake's body?
Yeah, I did.
The security guard found Jake's body, but Daryl says he found Jake's body. According to this report, Jake was killed on Friday morning. Jake is crossed off the schedule for Monday and Tuesday, but not Saturday, even though he was dead on Saturday. How did none of the teachers notice this large, obvious message? How did Mitch learn Nancy is investigating the murder? Nobody else knows. How did Mitch get Nancy's phone number?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
The conversation with a threatening murderer devolves into a did not, did to shouting match. Connie catches Nancy setting off the soda machine, even if Connie is not in the room.
So you're the prankster! I'm turning you in!
In the game over sequence, Connie accuses Nancy of being the one who sets off the soda alarm, even though Nancy can't possibly be the culprit because Nancy just started school today, and the soda culprit has been triggering alarms for weeks. Hulk knows Nancy is the one who set off the soda machine alarm, but he doesn't tell Connie.
Well, your uncle isn't here if that's who you're looking for.
Daryl says Beech isn't in the diner. Let's skip to the end of the conversation, and look, Beech is in the diner.
It was a senior prank. I had to spend 2 days in detention. They only now just reopened the school.
Daryl says he got 2 days of detention for the senior prank he performed the night of Jake's murder. But earlier, he said school has been closed until today. So how did he serve the detention?
Tough time?
I heard she's been having some money problems.
How does Hulk know about Connie's money problems?
That new girl told me you said I'm having money problems.
Connie and Hulk fight off screen to save on animation.
Ow! Ow, ow! Connie, stop it!
Hulk says ow 3 times, but the subtitles say 4 times. Connie beats up Hulk, but if you turn the corner, Connie isn't there.
I have an internship in the computer department at the plant. It's mega boring, but it'll look good on my college application.
Daryl took an internship, even though he already has a job. Daryl has a job, he's the student body president, and he has famous connections. But he's still worried his college application isn't impressive enough. Nancy falls for this obvious trap. Nancy doesn't recognize Mitch as the one who called and threatened her. If Nancy explores the boiler room before getting this letter, the clue in the tape aren't there. Who entered the boiler room and left these clues inside? Why did they do this? The culprit destroyed the elevator button so Nancy couldn't escape the room. How did the culprit escape? Which culprit set up this death trap? Was it Mitch or Beech? The game doesn't specify. You can look at this ladder, but you can't go down it. Nancy never would have found this tape if the culprit hadn't tried to kill her. Culprit foils their own plot. The explosion effect is reused for 2 death sequences.
So how'd your date go with the mysterious note-leaving guy?
Let's just say he almost took my breath away.
Nancy describes attempted murder in the most romantic way possible.
It was in my hotel room all along.
Beech is posing as a local police officer, yet he openly admits he's living out of a hotel room. Jake still uses VHS tapes, even though this game came out in 2010, long after VHS fell out of mainstream use. Jake still uses video cameras. A normal teenager in 2010 would have used their smartphone to record video. How did Jake get video cameras inside people's lockers without them noticing? Hulk doesn't bother to remove or cover up the label on this box. Connie is wearing all black when real judo contestants wear white. None of the characters notice the camera, even though they all stop and look around to ensure they aren't being watched. Oh my gosh! A student took notes while reading a book! This is clearly suspicious. Nobody questions how Nancy found out about their secrets, even though she just started school today.
I didn't kill Jake!
That's all it takes to convince Nancy that Connie is innocent. Nancy asks a question, so Daryl throws a hissy fit and leaves the diner. Daryl is a wimp. Daryl's irresponsible and should be fired for leaving the diner with no employees. Why didn't anyone check Jake's seat earlier? There's a note identifying it as such. This puzzle.
You see, Daryl's selling out to our local air conditioning guy, Mitch Dillon.
Why is Daryl selling military secrets to an air conditioning guy?
Let's take a look at what kind of homework he's bringing home from Daddy's top secret military industrial aerospace factory.
Mr. Gray's company is on the stock market. It is not top secret. What is Detective Beech's real name? Why is he buying military secrets? Why is he buying military secrets from the air conditioning guy? Beech is allegedly a major professional criminal, but he's so unprofessional that he has to hire a teenager to find another teenager's journal. Jake was killed for an entirely different reason in this version of the game, but they didn't bother changing any of the clues about the murder to reflect the new situation.
Aunt Eloise? Is that you?
Nancy doesn't bother to lock the door to Aunt Eloise's house. Nancy is disrespectful of others' property. Nancy can't call the police here. Why did Beech break into Aunt Eloise's house? That's a culprit giveaway.
Did you find the journal?
Yes, I found your journal.
My what?
Jake's journal. I found Jake's journal.
Nancy is terrible at lying.
Yes, I did con you into this undercover charade.
Look at the barrel of Beech's gun. The hole goes all the way through. There's no way he can use that gun to shoot her.
I mean, you had the lingo, the self-important attitude.
When was Nancy acting self-important in this game? Beech still complains about the way Nancy acts, even if you go the entire game without talking to him in person.
As far as murder goes, no. That was my former partner, Mitch Dillon.
Why is former partner in scare quotes? Beech admits he is not a killer, but Nancy is afraid of being killed by him. Why does Beech give Nancy 3 tries before killing her? Why can't Nancy tell Beech that the journal is in the school? That's where the journal actually is, and Beech would be forced to leave the house to get it, giving Nancy a chance to escape.
That's why I sent Mitch after Jake, to rough him up a bit. Unfortunately for Jake and Mitch, the roughing up got a bit out of hand.
It's a letdown to learn that the murder was committed by accident. Surprise! The entire mystery is a mistake.
You leave me no choice but to find the journal on my own!
Why does Beech make this decision? He's had no success searching for the journal on his own. Why does Beech bludgeon Nancy with the gun instead of shooting her? Was he trying to kill her in the most violent way possible? Nancy knows she can trap Detective Beech by getting him to enter 3 wrong safe combinations, even though the only way she could know that is if she'd been trapped herself. Beech falls for the same incorrect combination multiple times in a row. It's good that Beech is trapped in a cage, but he still has a gun and he can still shoot Nancy through the bars. She should leave immediately instead of standing in place and lecturing him.
And hello, prisoner number 4321A.
How does Nancy know Beech's prisoner number? Is she just making up random numbers? Because if so, 4321 is pretty uncreative.
Despite the damage this has caused Gray Enterprises, Daryl's father has forgiven him.
That's nice, but Daryl still broke multiple laws. He should be arrested.
Connie returned her trophy,
Why did Connie return her trophy? She won it fair and square.
and Hal has gotten his scholarships.
Hal gets away with plagiarism.
And I'm headed to the beach, where the only cover I'm going to go under is a beach blanket.
People lie on top of beach blankets, not under them. That's the beach from Ransom of the 7 Ships. Why did Nancy go back there?
Hey, Nancy. Hope you're enjoying the sunny skies down there. I'm probably out saving my cousin from some fashion disaster or creepy boyfriend. See ya.
Peekaboo! I see you! On my own!
No! Ah! No! Ah! No, Beach, stop! Ah! No, Beach, stop! Ah!